Oh, by the way, Uncle, are you also working on advancing Veena as an instrument? Interesting
Who is
point.
about it?
So Satyajit Uncle asks about the Veena design, which is a very, very pertinent question now, because right now Appa is actually with the carpenter working on a new Veena. So he's been designing this Veena for almost the last 6 months, and he's made 3, 4 prototypes. So our idea was, so most of the innovation that has happened in Veena designs has been around making it more portable, but not a lot towards the direction of acoustic resonance, or making it acoustically more loud or richer. So it all relies on some kind of electronic equipment to produce the sound. So unlike the sitar or a sarod, where they've really sorted the this problem, where the intrinsic acoustic sound of the instrument is so attractive and very piercing and impactful. um, Me being a Vainika myself, I would say that the Veena does not have a very intrinsically uh, I I don't know, should I say attractive, very impactful sound. It needs, something. If I play Veena in a room, hardly 4 or 5 people sitting close to me can listen to all the nuances, unlike a sitar. So we wanted to increase the acoustic volume and make it richer and make it portable as well. Um, so Appa has come up with a few designs, and it's been giving us very nice results. So hopefully in a few months we'll have a
We
couple
can't
of
wait, man. We can't wait. I mean, like it's going to be, and I'm sure, like with the expertise of your father, and then your thought process will bring out something really exciting and then
yeah.
amazing. And also, he has another question where he's asking,
Are you
"Are you put?"
putting
Yeah.
piezo? Yeah. So I use one piezoelectric. As of now, we've tried a lot of combinations of pickups and mics. So unfortunately, the only combination that works for a live stage scenario, for me at least, um, is using a piezoelectric combined with a magnetic pickup. So the thing is, the piezoelectric gives us the it's basically a contact mic, the AKG C411. Um, it gets the vibrations from inside the Veena through the vibrating surface, and I combine that with the electromagnetically picked up vibration from the magnetic pickup, use it in the mixer. The ideal miking scenario for a traditionally made Veena would be to use a condenser or a ribbon mic,
Mm,
and then combine it with a piezoelectric. Piezoelectric gives you that oomph that you look for in the sound. If unfortunately, to get all the nuances of the Veena, especially when the style is quite gamaka oriented and not too plucky, it is important that we use pickups. It's not very, I guess, diligent to use just a mic, acoustic mic, to get the Veena sound. So in
to
the
pick up the
studio,
vibrations, you mean?
exactly, yeah. In a studio, I would use on any day a combination of a couple of condensers or ribbons, and then a piezoelectric. I actually don't prefer the magnetic pickup at all, but I'm compelled or forced to use it in stage, if I have to let the audience listen to all the nuances. And my tonal preferences also come into play, because if I only use the AKG or the piezoelectric, it sounds too tinny. EQing is a big pain. And yeah, for me, what works is a magnetic come piezoelectric now. But yeah, so hopefully the new Veena will be very interesting, because it might be even be able to mic we might be able to mic it with just a dynamic mic for its volume. So it's in fact one of the prototypes is uh, slightly louder than the sitar. We used a decibel meter, and
Wow.
yes, which was very exciting. It still
Cool.
needs a lot of tweaks and adjustments, but yeah, it's very exciting.
Imagine this scenario where you get to play in one of the absolutely amazing acoustic hall, just like one of the philharmonies,
Oh yeah.
without your microphone or anything, just purely the instrument.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how it would sound. I'm sure it
Uh,
will sound beautiful, but
yeah.
without any amplification. Because I always make this joke. It's nothing. It's not to offend anyone. We do all the sadhana and then give it to the mic fellow. All our sadhana is given to the sound guy.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, I'm sure you've had your own set of funny experiences with mic people, as we call. uh,
Well, I have had few good experiences, I would
huh,
say.
huh.
uh,
So,
I mean, like, of course, like if there are really amazing sound engineers all around the world,
of course,
but
yeah,
sometimes, you don't need absolutely any EQ or anything. You just want to hear the way your mridangam or your instrument sounds
yeah,
outside, a little bit amplified, like a little bit louder. That's all.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
the maximum that we are looking for.
hmm,
Like,
yeah.
but uh, man, that's another the story for another day.
Correct. Yeah, and I think
So.
we have a question from Smriti,
Mhm.
ma'am. So, what were the artists whose comments from the sarcasm? I'm not able to read the whole question, Anna. Are you able to?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Even I can't.
Uh, Let
Maybe
me
it's
just
a little bit
type
tough.
it. Um, uh, just
Smriti ji, we can't really see the. Maybe there is. Ah, okay. Manju sir and Ramana, you both have been the artists who have always given the utmost prominence to the Saukya aspect in your performances. When it comes to a few ragas and talas in the process of bringing out all the technical highlights of the concert, an artist might not be at the best in extracting the 100% of the Saukyam factor and also in highlight on all the pauses that a particular raga requires. How to be the best possible in exploring a raga by stressing upon the technical. Something for you?
uh, there are a few ragas and taras in the process. Highlights. Uh, so when you say technical, I don't know what she means when you say technical highlights. Um, I guess she's talking about the novel aspects like again Trikalam, Korvais, Swaram, and
Or something to do with the technical aspect of how you handle your instrument. If it is really in the way of Saukyam or something like that, maybe,
I
right?
guess some internal poise is mandatory for all of us artists to maintain that saukyam or vishranti in what we play. I
Yeah.
guess because
I,
we sometimes I think we tend to, as I've caught myself doing it many times, where you see an audience, you have this compulsion to, we all as artists we have a compulsion to impress them naturally. So in that process I think sometimes we get carried away by playing too much. So Appa always tells me that play less, move more. So you don't have to keep on showing complex phrases and complex stuff.
mm,
There can be a lot of impact with less stuff. I guess ideas like these and I guess once one starts to value silence, I think that kind of rubs off on all aspects of music. I mean, we might still be able to, do a Melkaltisharam Swaram for a composition, but I guess that attitude of being able to see the big picture and make decisions. Oh, is it too much? Is it too filled? Should I give more pauses? That comes with a lot of experience. I'm not there yet, but Anna, what are your thoughts?
well, I Saukyam is a very pretty relative term for a lot of
Mm,
people. Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's okay to do all these things that we are doing, like as young artists, but so I sometimes work with a few dancers, and one such amazing dancer is Mr. Akram Khan, and then
yeah.
he says that it's like you draw a circle
Uh,
and then put everything that you have in it. So you see that what you have, and then start taking out the things that you are not it's not required.
mm, mm,
That's how you come to the reality of what you want to do as a whole piece. So
mm,
this is one thing that I don't think you can arrive to this whatever is called as Saukyam saukyam
Yeah.
right from the beginning of it, until you have tried and tested a lot of things. And
Mm.
then it's not the same that, even like simply like something like holding the instrument,
Mm.
uh, it's not the same for everyone. Everyone has
Mm.
different body structure, so everyone holds instruments differently.
Yeah.
So same way, the phrase, the saukyam or everything, it's not something that is the same for every artist.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also depends on their character a lot.
Of course. Yeah, I agree.
The music that comes out is absolutely the character that you,
Yeah. Yeah.
it might not be the thing that you show, but that's exactly what you are in your
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah.
then if you want to know a person, just especially a musician, you don't have to interact with the musician. You can just, deep inside, whatever you see outside may not be exactly what she or he is
Mm.
inside.
Mm.
So
Mm.
this saukyam, I think it's a very relative thing.
Yeah.
But
I.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's different. Saukyam is different from one concert to another concert, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also depends on the amplification, and then what you can, how soft you can play. It makes a
Yeah.
big difference.
I think Saukyam is also a lot about contrast because, oh, sorry, context.
Context.
Because one cannot say that Saukyam is very important, so I won't even play any, let's say, Podisolus in accompaniment. There are so many, like even the beautiful. Uh, I think Murthy Mama plays this. Maybe it started with the.
Mm.
So it's such a beautiful. In fact, Anantana was saying this once that these kind of evolved structures. I mean, if someone says this is a filled phrase, a solu, and Saukyam does not accommodate it, I won't play it. I think they're losing out a lot.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah,
That's, I mean, you're absolutely right.
yeah.
Okay, so there is one more question for you. What life lessons would you imbibe from the teachings of Ramana Bhagavan?
Um, that's not possible to answer in short. It's, I mean, for me, it's, I've been here, coming here since I was born, so it's kind of ingrained. Um, of course, there is, um, my own bit of, I mean, whatever we call sadhana or meditation. And I will never ever call me a sadhaka ever, because of the number of real sadhakas that you see here and get inspired by, you're zero here. So I just feel blessed to be in touch with a place where there is access to such deep teaching, and the opportunity to enjoy the presence of such a sage at will. At will, I can go to the ashram and sit for how much ever time I want, without worrying about anything. And, um, and I feel blessed about that. Life lessons, I'm not able to come up with very specific things right now. Um, yeah, I just feel blessed to be here, and I hope to get more serious about learning the teaching, and trying to integrate it with our own lives, because spirituality is a lot about how we are in relationships and our daily life. It's not some isolated pursuit like, oh, I'll be spiritual in the ashram and I'll do whatever I want at home. So it's there like a current. So I hope to strengthen that current. That's all I can say now.
Awesome.
Have you ever faced the issue of imitating the style of your inspiration? Do you consider doing something that like that as a plagiarism? I think inspiration comes first for all of us in the form of
That's
imitation,
right.
right? Yeah,
You know, uh, they, they, my father always told this. Again, I
uh,
have to bring his name.
yeah.
In the art, Tiruttu Vidya.
He said it right. Yeah,
So you always steal things when you're,
absolutely.
like, there is plagiarism. I mean, like, it's a very fine line,
Mm,
about being inspired and then plagiarism. It's the way you think about it.
mm,
Because uh, you know especially in classical music, I
mm,
would say, Indian classical music, you gain a lot of respect when you play a lot of classical compositions that's been time tested, right?
mm, mm, mm.
So that's always there. For example, you were talking about Podishollu by Murthy sir. We
Mm.
always play this.
Yeah,
We play exactly the same composition, in our,
Exactly.
you cannot invent everything,
Yeah.
or you like compose everything. You gain more respect when you start playing more
Absolutely.
closer to your tradition,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So plagiarism, I think, uh, it's not so much in in Carnatic music. Let us
Mm,
say if I play a composition of some Mahavidwan,
mm,
and then I don't uh, like give the credit when it deserves, when it requires, when somebody's asking.
mm.
Then if I claim that to be mine, then that becomes plagiarism, I would
Yeah.
say.
Of course. Yeah.
If you don't acknowledge,
Yeah.
if you say someone else's composition is your composition, then that's
Yeah.
plagiarism. But it's
Mm.
not that if you don't say someone else's composition is their composition, that does not make it as
Exactly.
a plagiarism.
In fact, I was just thinking today that I was trying to make some mora, and I was just wondering at this. I mean, there's a lot of Murthy Mama remember us today. So this mora, I don't know how to say it, Anna, but it starts like that mora. That is so beautiful to play. I was just wondering at that, and those kind of things when you play, it's better that we don't touch it at all because
That's
it's so
always
good.
there. That's
Yeah.
yes.
It's just
I have
nice to
heard
play.
from Hari Shankar sir's students a lot that when it comes to
uh,
we don't want to play it.
uh, uh,
We can never play it the way our guru played. So
yeah.
that's the thing that a lot of students of his say that. And then
Mm,
when you tell about these things about also Murthy sir,
yeah.
sometimes not touching it is already a big uh, this thing, a prayer from us to them. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is the one. Yeah. So how are we doing with the time? Like we just crossed. We're
Yeah.
almost there.
And I think you have a one of the best live sound engineers of the countries is a see-
Sigmund, he's watching the session on YouTube. Ah, hello, Sigmund Zar. Thank you so much for watching
Hello.
this. Say it with me. Yes. If you say it with us, it would be like we can do it. And Ramana, it's a piece that Vivek Rajgopalan composed,
Uh,
and that's the first thing that we did something together. This was back in 2014.
oh.
He composed, and then we did it, and then we have also done a live version for a television channel. But
Oh, okay.
of course, that would be our pleasure to perform it, and then maybe Ramana also can join. So yes, sir, for sure someday. Thank you for watching this. Okay. So you said you had one or two questions for me.
Yes. So I wanted to know how um, you were inspired to pursue Konnakol at this level. Um, because I mean, as far as I know, you also started with Mridangam, didn't you, Anna?
No,
No.
actually, no, because that's a very funny story. I started with because my father was an amazing konokol artist, one
Okay.
of the best that I have ever listened.
Oh,
Uh, you know, and then when I listened to Murthy sir's konokol, I could not between my father's quality of saying konokol, and because it's totally different kind of saying reciting konokol. And I was 5 years old, and then my father wanted me to put formally into Mridangam training, and then he tried once or twice. I was not very attentive, and then he said,
mm,
"Okay, this will not work." Then he sent me to his one of his closest friends, my first guru, Ganakala Bhushana K. N. Krishnamurti sir. And then those days there was no it was all 24, 26 inches mridangam, you know
oh,
so so when my master asked me to play ta, I played ta, and then when I asked to play to d, I went the other side and played d. So and he said, this will not work like this, I'm so sorry, I have to start with konokol.
uh,
So he taught me konokol for almost 1.5 years until I was of
okay.
the right height, to reach both the sides like this, it is a very funny picture. I used to have it, right? It's called,
uh,
I'm playing mridangam like this. So it started out 1.5 years of doing a lot of tala, and then saying the solus, and I
uh,
didn't even know it was konokol at that time. I was just saying it, and then of course influence from my father's reciting all the time. He was a specialist, so
mm,
that's how it started. But at one point I was very, very, very I was not, I didn't want to do it anymore because it became very cheesy for me, because everyone was starting to do it in a very lot of people started doing it in a commercial way,
mm,
and that really, really irritated me, and then I gave up doing it.
mm,
And my father was very, very, very unhappy about it.
mm,
And then slowly again I picked it up again, because I still remember him saying, oh, no, 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 this is because we run this school which is called as Mukambika Talavadya Sangeeta Kalashale.
uh,
Mukambika is associated with the Vak. So he said, look, this will be your one of your prominent features of your musical life. You
mm,
should not let it go, you know
mm. Yeah,
that's how.
now when you said that, you travel extensively and in Europe and all over the globe. And from your experience, would you say? I mean, I've always thought that percussion is I guess, more universal than melody at some level. I always feel that because there is less things to make people worry about. If it's melody, they have to say, okay, what pitch is this, blah blah blah. But when it's percussion, it's just it's just an outburst of expression. So would you say, in your experience, you having performed konakol and mridangam, which do you think reaches out easier to a foreign audience,
Well,
or
I think the contrary, huh? The
uh,
contrary. Melody is more accessible than the rhythm, because it's. I'm sure I understand what you mean about being global or universal,
mm,
as long as the rhythm stays on the beat. That's what I say all the time.
mm,
Until and unless the rhythm is staying on the beat or inside a bar,
mm,
rhythm becomes very universal and very accessible.
mm,
As long as it is very repetitive or very
mm,
hypnotic, it
yeah,
becomes accessible.
yeah,
But the way that the classical music is designed,
mm,
we are not stuck to the beat.
yeah, yeah,
we
we are
we
not.
think in big structures.
Yeah.
So that's the place where uh, we start reaching more of connoisseurs or experts,
Mm,
you know uh, and then when it comes to melody, you don't really uh, only in India we see this concept of melody is always being associated with rhythm, right?
mm, mm,
But l- more than 50 to 60% of concerts
mm,
globally, I see
mm,
that there is no percussions at all in the concerts.
mm, mm.
So when you talk about the rhythm, are you talking about the rhythm that's coming out of percussion instruments, or rhythm being in general in every instrument?
I had just the percussion instruments in mind.
Hmm.
Uh,
So
so,
I mean, like, everything is universal and global, but it depends on what kind of state of mind the audiences are,
mm,
and then what kind of culture they came from. Like, for example, if you come from uh, a place, a hilly place where they don't use they use mostly vocal syllables or
mm, mm.
singing, for them, percussion might be quite disturbing.
Mm.
At the
Interesting.
same time, if you go to some of the African countries where rhythm is like at the pinnacle, like dancing and rhythm is more done than singing, becomes like an accompaniment for the rhythm over there.
Right. Right.
I have seen both sides of it, so it's
Mm.
hard to answer this question.
Right. I remember myself listening to some friend had sent some Arabian music. I don't know which one it was. I think it's. I immediately, the darbuka grooves just made me kind of vibe along with it. That's. And when I traveled with Sumeshana, he used to keep doing this darbuka groove, and that just stuck to me. Than the melody. The melody was harder for me to access because they have all these half notes and between
Half notes,
semitones,
yeah.
and but
Yeah.
the rhythm aspect. And likewise, Jacob had used this groove where there was this Malaysian singer called I forget her name. The song is called Musurulu or something. So it goes like, uh, so it goes like, it's neither Tishram nor Chatushram, somewhere in between. That
Yeah.
those aspects of I mean, I always felt more connected to the rhythm aspect
Uh-huh.
in these other genres. So so that's what made me ask that question. So,
Well, again, like when you talk about darbuka rhythm, that the rhythms that probably you hear a lot about is it's staying inside a bar. It never goes
mm,
outside the bar,
yeah,
right? Once, like I have seen, like even if you like when you're doing din din tak din tak ka 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 ta din ta din din ta din ta 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 ta, then you allow a mridangam player to play on that, okay?
yeah,
Din din ta din ta 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 din ta din ta get ta get ta get ta get ta get ta already you're out of it, but
yeah,
like, oh, I can't
yeah,
hit the
yeah,
groove anymore, like this kind of like going. I mean, like I think it's an acquired taste.
mm, yeah,
A lot of rhythmic mm, uh,
mm,
cultures,
mm,
but generally if you're staying inside the beat or inside the groove or inside the bar, it's more
mm,
appreciated, I would say.
mm, mm, mm,
Okay, so there is one more, and then maybe we take one, and then we just
yeah.
yeah. So tell us, listeners, would you like to schedule a work? Hey, it's for you, man. You. We need a workshop from you. We need a workshop from you for sure. And then, okay, this is my question. If you want to do a workshop, let us say for live demi,
Mm.
what would be your choice of topic?
That is something I have to think about. In fact, something might be interesting about Tanam techniques or um, ways of developing accuracy in playing phrases on the Veena or something like that. I'm not sure. I have to think about it.
You have to think of. So, what about a mere mortal like me? Like who doesn't know
Ah, come
anything
on.
about melody. So, someone like me. Okay. So, think of a wider range of audiences that you will get. You're not
Mm,
talking about instrument, veena, tana, and these things. So,
yeah.
what about like you want me? I also want to be in your workshop. It
Mm,
doesn't mean that if you're doing tana workshop, I will not be there. I will be there to enjoy it, but how will I'm sure there'll be something to take from it to play on my instrument. But like for example, if I have to involve in something like for everyone, what would you do?
yeah. Interesting question. I have not thought about it. Um, Something that involves more a wider audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit
Sorry,
blank
I
now.
didn't want to put you on the spot.
No, no, it's good that you did because it makes me think. Uh, it'll be interesting. I have to think
It'll be
about it.
interesting.
I-
Okay.
Yeah,
So let
yeah,
us say if you're talking about rhythmic and melodic artists and vocalists, but they are
yeah,
only Indians. Let us say there are people who are not used to Indian music at all. What do you
yeah,
do for them?
yeah.
Sorry, I don't want
All
to
right.
give you
It's
some.
good, good for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Ramana. I have still 1,000 questions to ask to you, but uh, I think it was really awesome chatting with
Oh, I
you.
had lots of fun, Anna. Such pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, like it's. I feel like we have just begun
Yeah.
um,
So
to realize a lot of things. So yeah, I mean, thank you to Live Demi for putting this
yes, thank you, Satyajit
thing.
Uncle, and Live to Me.
Yeah,
And
yeah, Satyajit ji, it was really awesome. I hope there were some people who were uh, making a note of what we were trying to say, and then if there was something that you guys did not uh, it did not vibe with you. Uh, Sorry about that, but it's
Yeah.
just purely coming out of our heart, whatever we want to speak. And of course, the main important highlights of this chat was please don't forget to see Sammukha Priya from Ramana, and please don't forget to go and eat idli, vade, and coffee in and
Yes.
then please do not forget to eat bisi bele bath, and then the sweetie sambar from
Yes.
Karnataka. And then of course, whenever you go to Tiruvannamalai, make sure that you visit Ramana, and then also make sure that you visit the temple. That's the thing about it. So the highlights of this chat, I would say, with
Yes.
apart from many million things that Ramana told. So great. Thank you
Uh,
so much, Ramana. You want to say something before you go?
oh, it was an absolute pleasure for me as well. Like always, whenever I meet you, it's so much fun and inspiration. And um so I had I mean, it's always nice to talk to someone who, you know, um, of course, I know that you don't, you know, when there is no pretension of any sort, it's so much easier to share. So I really enjoyed that. So
Cool.
and as you know, I remember as we all grow up, we always look forward to talking to musicians who really lower their guard and are just very childlike in sharing stuff. Because
Hmm.
I mean, there's so much fun when someone does that. So it's very
Perfect.
beautiful.
So for people in Bangalore or Chennai or in Coimbatore or in North India or abroad, quickly tell us what's coming up next with you performing.
Performing. So uh, I'm performing in Coimbatore day after tomorrow,
Make a
as
note of
part of
that. People
in
around there.
Rajalakshmi
Okay.
Fine Arts, and I've posted all the details on my social media pages. And there's a bunch of concerts next month. There's a concert in Bangalore next month, so all those will be updated on my social media pages. And day after tomorrow, I'll be performing with Ananta R. Krishnan ji and B.S. Purushothaman ji. So I'm looking forward to that. And if I'm
Perfect.
not wrong, Anna, you're performing with Manjana and
Yeah, tomorrow
Nagarajana
there is
tomorrow.
this concert with amazing Mysore brothers with two mridangams with Ananta R. Krishnanji and then myself.
I'm really
So
missing this. The moment I saw this poster, I was like, ah, come on.
so it's going to be in Bangalore for Vishesha Fine Arts in Brigade Convention Center. So I mean, like, yeah, tons of. So you're also going to London, I think, right?
I'm going to London this October and be performing in Darbar Festival
That's
on
awesome.
the 14th. Yeah, 14th.
14th of October.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
And there's
Super.
a yeah.
A lot of things coming up, and then please keep an eye on our social media pages. We will share
Yes,
everything. And then thank you so much for being such uh, lovely listeners, I would say. And then
yes.
uh, adios amigo.
See
See you.
you.
Bye bye.